All right, let's get ready, because today I was going to do a deep dive into Pixar's Ratatouille.
Oh, interesting.
And I think a lot of people think they know this movie, family-friendly fun, but
Yeah.
we've got this really interesting critique that we're using as our source material.
Okay.
And I think you're going to be surprised by how much depth this movie actually has.
Well, I'm excited to hear about it.
So we're talking about big ideas, belonging.
Mm-hmm.
Where does creativity come from?
Mm-hmm.
And can a simple dish change your whole perspective?
Wow.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
So, it's a rat who wants to cook
Yeah.
in a 5-star French restaurant.
I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous when you say it out loud.
It does.
But what's captivating is how the movie takes this really silly idea
Right.
and uses it to explore these deep human experiences.
Yeah, and that's what I think is so interesting about this critique.
Yeah.
Is that it brings out all of that. You settle in and you think you're just going to watch a fun cartoon. But then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. This movie is asking some pretty profound questions about life and art.
Really does.
So let's start with Remy,
Okay.
our little chef.
Our hero.
Yeah, he's the heart of the whole story.
Absolutely.
But he's got this internal conflict going on.
Right.
His family wants him to follow tradition,
Stay safe.
be a rat, right?
Yeah. Stick to the rat way of life.
But Remy,
Yeah.
he feels this pull towards something bigger,
Something more.
this passion for food.
And that's where I think the movie starts to connect with all of us.
Yeah,
We've all felt that pull, haven't we?
absolutely.
Between what we're supposed to do and what we really want to do,
Yeah.
what we're really passionate about.
So it's not just about a rat who wants to be a chef.
Right.
It's about that universal feeling of wanting to chase your dreams,
Mm-hmm.
even when everyone tells you it's impossible.
Even when it's hard.
And even when it means maybe disappointing people you love.
Yeah, going against the grain.
Okay, so Remy's our main guy.
He is.
But he's got this great cast of characters around him.
He does.
And they all kind of add to these themes that we're talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
So you've got Linguini,
Linguini.
this kind of clumsy guy,
A little bit awkward.
but he's got a good heart.
A big art.
And he becomes Remy's partner in crime.
He's the human connection that Remy needs.
And then there's Colette.
Right.
Now she's tough.
She is.
She's a sous chef
Worked her way up.
in this male-dominated kitchen.
Yeah, she's had to fight for everything.
She's not afraid of hard work,
No.
but she sees something in Remy and Linguini,
Uh-huh.
and she becomes this mentor to them.
Yeah, she's got a lot to teach him.
And then you've got the villain Skinner,
Yes.
head chef.
More interested in profit than passion.
Yeah, he doesn't really care about the art of cooking.
No, it's all business for him.
And he's always trying to exploit Remy.
Trying to use Remy's talent for his own gain.
And then, of course, there's Anton Ego,
Oh, the food critic.
the guy who can make or break a restaurant.
With one review.
So what do you make of Anton Ego?
Well, he's fascinating because he starts out so cynical.
Yeah.
He's lost his faith in food.
Right.
He doesn't believe in the power of a great meal anymore.
He's jaded.
Completely jaded.
But then Remy's cooking.
It changes him.
It changes him.
Yeah, he tastes that ratatouille, and it's like something unlocks inside him.
Yeah. And that scene gets me every time.
Me too.
It gives me chills.
It's not just about the food.
Yeah.
It's about remembering,
Uh-huh.
reconnecting with something you thought was lost.
Yeah. It's like Remy's cooking takes him back to his childhood,
Back to a time when food was magical.
when it was pure joy.
And Pixar does such an incredible job with that scene.
Right.
The animation,
The music.
that all comes together to create this powerful emotional experience.
You can practically taste the food.
It's like you're right there with Ego.
Feeling those memories come flooding back,
And it's a reminder of how powerful food can be
how it can connect us to the past,
to our loved ones.
to who we are.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the animation,
Oh, it's breathtaking.
it's gorgeous.
The way they capture the food.
City of Paris.
It's like you could step right into the screen.
And I think they use those visuals
Right.
to really enhance the story.
Yeah, it's not just pretty pictures.
No.
It's adding another layer of meaning.
Yeah, like the Parisian setting. It's
Yeah.
not just a backdrop.
Right.
It represents possibility.
Opportunity.
This whole world that Remy wants to be a part of.
And it contrasts so beautifully with his
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
which is cramped and dark.
So we've got this blend of humor,
Mhm.
heart incredible visuals.
Absolutely.
And it all comes together to
Right.
create this really layered experience.
That's what makes Ratatouille so special.
And that's what we're going to unpack today.
I can't wait.
We're going to look at how this movie uses a rat,
A kitchen,
a dish,
and a whole lot of heart.
to talk about identity and what it really means to be human.
Let's dig in.
So buckle up, folks. Things are about to get delicious.
One of the things I find so interesting about Ratatouille is this idea of talent.
Okay, what do you mean?
We tend to think of great artists.
Right.
Like there's these larger-than-life figures, like
Yeah.
almost superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
But Remy,
Yeah.
he's a rat.
He's tiny.
He lives in the walls.
Right.
He's literally scavenging for scraps.
Yes.
But he has this incredible gift
For food.
for understanding how flavors work together
Right.
to create something magical.
So it's like the movie's saying that artistry.
It's not about where you come from.
Uh-huh.
It's not about your background.
It's about this inner spark.
that passion.
That drive to create.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter the obstacle.
And Remy,
Yeah.
he doesn't just rely on natural talent.
Right.
He works at it.
He
He observes the chefs.
He experiments.
He's constantly pushing himself to learn and grow.
It's not just a one-time thing.
No, it's a process.
That's a good point.
It's easy to get caught up in this idea of natural talent.
Right. Like some people are just born with it.
But Ratatouille reminds us
Yeah.
that even the most gifted people,
Mm.
they have to put in the work.
You have to hone your craft.
Absolutely.
Keep pushing your boundaries.
Never settle.
Strive for excellence.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got Remy, this passionate artist.
Right.
But then there's this other side of the art world.
Oh, yeah.
Criticism.
And the film explores that through Anton Ego,
Oh, the food critic.
the one who can make or break a restaurant.
He's terrifying.
He's definitely intimidating.
But as the film goes on,
Mm-hmm.
we start to see that there's more to him.
Yeah, he's not just this one-dimensional villain.
Right, he's complex.
He's lost his connection to food.
Yeah, he's jaded.
He's focused on finding flaws.
Instead of appreciating the beauty.
And then Remy comes along,
Is his ratatouille.
and it changes everything.
At one bite.
It pierces through ego cynicism.
It reminds him of the power of food.
It's like Remy's cooking is a form of criticism itself.
Whoa, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, it's not about words.
It's about sensation.
It's about making people feel something.
So Remy's not just challenging the culinary world. He's challenging the way we think about criticism.
That's what makes Ego's transformation so powerful.
Yeah.
He goes from this harsh critic.
He's someone who's humbled by a rat.
He has to confront his own biases.
Admit that he was wrong.
And that greatness can come from anywhere.
It's like he rediscovers this childlike wonder
That pure joy.
that he had forgotten.
Exactly.
And this brings us to another interesting point.
What's that?
Success.
Ah, yeah.
What does it really mean to be successful?
Well, Ratatouille presents this nuanced view of success.
So it's not just about fame and fortune.
No, it's not just about Michelin stars.
So what is it about then?
Well, for Remy,
Yeah.
it's about staying true to his passion,
Uh-huh.
expressing his creativity,
And sharing his gift with the world.
even if it means doing things differently.
So it's more about the journey,
Yeah, finding fulfillment in the act of creation.
not chasing external validation.
Exactly.
That's such a powerful message.
Especially in today's world.
Right, where it feels like everything's about status.
And material wealth.
Ratatouille is telling us to define success on our own terms.
What are you passionate about?
What makes you come alive?
Don't let anyone tell you what success should look like for you.
I love that.
And the film does this.
Yeah.
Not through some preachy message,
No,
but through this heartwarming story.
that makes you think.
Makes you feel.
And speaking of the storytelling,
Yeah.
they use those visuals so well.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the contrast between Paris
Mm.
and Remy's little hideout.
Yeah. Paris represents all these possibilities.
It's a world that Remy wants to be a part of.
And it's so different from his cramped little world.
And then there's that scene with Ego.
Oh, the Ratatouille scene.
The way they use color and music.
To show Ego's memories.
It's brilliant.
It's pure cinematic magic.
You can practically feel those emotions.
That rush of childhood memories.
It shows us how food can be this portal
To the past.
to our deepest feelings.
And it's a reminder
Yeah.
that even the most cynical people can be touched by beauty,
By something genuine.
by something that reminds them what truly matters.
And Ratatouille does all of this
Yeah.
with a rat as the main character.
It's amazing.
But there's one more piece of this puzzle I want to talk about.
Oh, what's that?
Remy's family.
Ah, yes.
They play such an important role.
They represent tradition,
The comfort of the familiar.
but also the limitations of that world.
And that's where things get really interesting.
How so?
Because it's not just about Remy chasing his dreams.
Right.
It's about him trying to balance that.
With his family's expectations.
Which are very different from being a chef.
Yeah, it's that classic parent-child conflict.
Wanting what's best for your kid.
But also letting them find their own way.
Even if it's scary.
Even if it's unconventional.
All right, let's dive into that family dynamic. So we were talking about Remy's family and how they make his journey even more complicated.
Right, because it's not just about him following his passion. It's about him navigating these relationships with his family who have a very different vision for his life.
And his dad, Django, is a good example of that, right?
Oh, yeah, Django, he represents that practical side. You know, he's seen the dangers of the human world. He's like, be careful, Remy. Stick to what, you know.
It's that classic parent worry, right? They just want to protect their kids.
Exactly. They want what's best for them, even if that means holding them back a little.
But it's also about a different worldview, right?
Oh, totally. For Django being a rat, it's about survival. It's about fitting in, not standing out.
Remy's this artist who wants to create, and that just clashes with Django's whole way of life.
That's like he's challenging the very core of their rat society. And then you've got Emile, Remy's brother.
Right. He's a bit more easygoing.
He's more accepting of Remy's quirks, but he's still very much a part of that rat world.
He's kind of that bridge between the two worlds.
And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Having family members who don't quite get your passions, but they love you anyway.
It's that unconditional love that makes those relationships so special. And it makes the ending of the movie so heartwarming.
Oh, absolutely. Because Remy, he doesn't just abandon his family. He finds a way to bring them together.
He creates this space where his rat family and his human friends can all coexist.
It's like he's saying you don't have to choose one or the other. You can find a way to honor both.
You can create this new sense of belonging that includes all parts of yourself. And it's not just his family, right? He also finds this chosen family in Linguini and Colette.
Oh, yeah, they become his support system. They believe in him. They encourage him to be his best self.
We're the people who truly get him, and sometimes those people aren't the ones we're related to.
Sometimes it's the friends we choose who become our real family, and that sense of belonging is such a powerful force in this movie.
And it all ties back to that main message of Ratatouille.
Anyone can cook.
Anyone can achieve greatness, no matter where they come from.
Look at Remy. He's a rat who becomes a chef.
Linguini's this clumsy guy who finds his purpose.
Colette's a woman who breaks through barriers in a male-dominated field.
It's a story about defying expectations, following your heart, and finding your place in the world.
And it does all of this with such humor and warmth.
We've laughed, we've cried. I'm hungry just thinking about all that food.
But I think we've all come away with a deeper understanding of what it means to be creative and passionate.
To find those people who support you, and to never give up on your dreams no matter how crazy they might seem.
Ratatouille reminds us that the world is full of possibilities if we're brave enough to pursue them.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Ratatouille, I want you to think about what your Ratatouille is. What's that thing that lights you up, that makes you feel alive, even if it's a little unconventional?
Embrace it. Don't be afraid to stand out, to be different, to create something truly amazing.
Because anyone can cook up something incredible.
All right, so I bet you think you know Ratatouille pretty well, huh?
Probably seen it a few times.
Oh, I'm sure. But are you ready to go behind the scenes?
I'm ready to get cheesy.
Okay, good, because in this deep dive, we're serving up a heaping plate of fun facts about Ratatouille, all pulled from this awesome source.
Curiosities about Ratatouille.
You got it.
All right, lay it on me. What kind of tasty tidbits did you dig up?
Well, first of all, did you know that they actually brought in a real, world-famous chef to help make the food scenes crazy realistic?
Wait, really?
Yeah, Thomas Keller.
No way. The French Laundry guy.
The one and only.
Wow. Okay, color me impressed. But how involved was he?
Super involved. I mean, he was basically their culinary Yoda. Everything from how the chefs hold their knives to how the food is, prepped and plated.
So we're talking real deal techniques, not just cartoon cooking.
Oh, absolutely. And get this, he even created the actual ratatouille recipe that's featured in the movie.
Wow. So the dish they make on screen is a Thomas Keller original.
Yep. And knowing Keller's style, it's got to be way more than just some veggies thrown together.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the guy's known for taking simple ingredients and elevating them to art,
Exactly. It's all about those subtle details that make a huge difference, even if we don't always realize it.
Right, right. It's like it just adds to the whole experience.
And speaking of experience, can we talk about how they captured Paris in this film?
Oh, man. The city is practically a character itself, right?
Totally. It's like you can feel the cobblestones beneath your feet and smell the fresh bread from the boulangeries.
It's so immersive. But did they actually, like, go to Paris for inspiration?
You bet. The animators spent a ton of time there just absorbing the city's vibe. They studied everything.
Like what?
The architecture, the way the light hits the buildings, even how the Parisians move and talk.
So they weren't just drawing pretty pictures, they were capturing the soul of the city.
Exactly. And it totally shows.
It does. Okay, but enough about the pretty stuff. Let's talk about Anton Ego.
Oh, the food critic with the scary stare.
The one and only.
Okay, so what about him?
Well, remember his office? It's kind of shaped like, well, a coffin.
Uh-huh. Yeah, very subtle.
Right. But it's not just a random design quirk. It's actually super symbolic.
Ooh, I love symbolism. Go on.
Okay, so think about it. Ego's words can make or break a restaurant.
So, like, his reviews are powerful enough to bury a chef's career?
Exactly. And that coffin imagery just adds this extra layer of, well, dramatic weight to his character.
Totally. It's like a visual reminder that he's not messing around.
Exactly.
But on a lighter note, remember how perfectly Remy is cast? Like Patton Oswalt, I.S. Remy.
Oh, he's brilliant.
But get this, they found him in a super random way.
Oh, spill the tea.
Okay, so the Pixar crew heard this stand-up routine of Patton's where he's ranting about some fast food burger.
Okay.
And they were like, whoa, this guy gets food, this guy gets passion, this is Remy.
They could hear Remy in his voice?
Totally. It was that raw energy, that love for food that just clicked.
Yeah. I love that. Speaking of clicking, did you hear about the Up Easter egg?
Oh, with Doug.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally missed it the first time.
It's super subtle. So remember when Remy is like running through the walls of Gusteau's?
Yeah.
Well, if you look closely, you can actually see Doug's shadow for a split second.
No way.
Pixar loves sneaking those little nods to their other films in there.
So cool. It's like a fun little reward for paying attention.
Exactly. Well, there you have it. A whole Ratatouille of Ratatouille facts.
And to think, all this was hiding beneath the surface of this, what seems like a simple animated film.
Right. It makes you wonder what other secrets are lurking in our favorite movies.
It totally does. And, it really makes you appreciate the level of thought and detail that Pixar pours into their work.
Absolutely. They're not just making movies, they're creating worlds.
So next time you watch Ratatouille, or any Pixar film, really, keep your eyes peeled. You never know what you might discover.
And hey, if you find any cool Easter eggs, let us know. We'd love to hear about them.
Until next time, bon appetit.
Happy viewing.